Welcome back, fans, to the Fanvestor Report. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet, and this is a weekly podcast covering all of the business of celebrity that fans want in on. This week, we're going to take a bite out of the celebrity food business and the NFTs that are just oh so good, you could almost eat them. Celebrity restaurants aren't a new concept after all. I'm sure you remember dining at one of those OG Planet Hollywoods in the 90s. It was a total see and be seen spot. It was actually co-owned by Stallone, Bruce Willis, and Schwarzenegger. And I even remember dressing up for one of those Captain Crunch chicken fingers and sitting in that round booth in Orlando thinking at any minute I could be discovered. Well, now modern day iterations are more like me at Wahlburgers or Craig's, and other celebrities are reinventing the restaurant business with celebrity ghost kitchens, Instagram, and FOMO. So why are celebrities investing in hospitality, and who owns that spot in the 90210? Can you really Postmate Mariah Carey cookies? And how much is this all worth? This week, our sister podcast, Everything Hollywood, will feature a very special interview with Ms. Bobby Chance, the founder of the Hollywood Actors Showcase, who has a unique take on the business of celebrity and building hers. And later in this episode, we'll catch up with award-winning producer, filmmaker, writer, and photographer, Carolyn McDonald, who is a trusted advisor to celebrities, content creators, entrepreneurs, and nonprofits, businesses who want to engage in underserved markets, and supporters with original content that best reveal their brand, vision, or service. But back to business. All right, fans, let's talk some soul food. Someone cue a little Livin' on a Prayer. Jon Bon Jovi, of course, is an acclaimed American rock star who's also a rock star in the kitchen and committed to impact. In October 2011, Bon Jovi's foundation opened Soul Kitchen to address the issue of food insecurity. It's a volunteer restaurant in New Jersey serving farm-to-table meals with both paying customers and those facing food insecurities. So the option? Pay it forward. The kitchen uses this model, asking diners to contribute either volunteer hours or a donation for their meals instead of paying customers. The dishes on the menu don't even have any prices, so you can pay as little or as much as you like. Don't stop believing. Other celebrities in the restaurant biz include Hugh Jackman and Laughing Man Coffee and Tea. Also, the foundation. So Hugh Jackman, who is reportedly worth $180 million, is fueled by caffeine. Fans, did you know that Hugh Jackman is the owner of Laughing Man Coffee and Tea, one of the coolest, hippest coffee shops in Manhattan? It's a trendy local coffee shop with 2 locations in New York, serving coffee and specialty drinks with vegan and gluten-free treats, pastries, and website with a mission, and of course, there's merch. So, the story behind it all? Well, Jackman and his wife went to Ethiopia, where they just happened to befriend a local coffee farmer, and it kickstarted the whole idea for the coffee shop and as well as the Laughing Man Foundation. They met this farmer who was growing delicious coffee with the use of some simple technology that had 0 carbon footprint. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but it is. So Jackman became friends, and he literally worked on the farm, planted coffee trees, and named them after his kids, Ava and Oscar. Hugh then promised the farmer he would help, and, well, voila, Laughing Man was born. And even better, all of the proceeds from this coffee company actually go back to the foundation, who's committed to continuing to support coffee farming communities by investing in programs that clear the way to health, growth, and success for coffee makers and their families. This includes work in Colombia, Ethiopia, and Peru. Drink up. Well, fans, if you're like me, Ryan Gosling stole your heart, but that was before his hit restaurant Tangine in Beverly Hills. Ryan Gosling is reported worth $70 million, and he partnered with chef Ben Benamir to co-own Tangine. It's a super high-class restaurant in Beverly Hills where A-list celebrities meet for a plate of Moroccan delicacies, and fans just fawn over the swoon-worthy Gosling, waiting for a glimpse of him in their own notebook moment over some couscous. It's not just me, right? I know there were some other people doing that. Founded in 2004 after chef catered an event, Gosling said he could eat this food for the rest of his life, and the restaurant was born. Since then, the restaurant has attracted many other celebrities to dine, including Eva Mendes. See, it wasn't just me. She fell in love with the couscous. And then there's Francis Ford Coppola and the fam. Francis Ford Coppola was the central figure in the new Hollywood filmmaking movement of the 60s and 70s. He's widely considered to be one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He's reportedly worth a cool $400 million. But that wasn't just the Godfather. The Coppola family, own 4 wineries, 4 restaurants, and 5 inns at various locations, ranging from Belize to Italy to Argentina and, of course, the U.S. He's even got a fiction art magazine and a spirits company, as well as 2 production companies with more to come. But what was once a headquarters for his production company in San Francisco, a historic landmark in the heart of North Beach, is Cafe Zoetrope. It's an Italian restaurant serving wine from the Coppola winery and dishes created by Coppola himself. Yum. Other celebrities in the restaurant biz include Scarlett Johansson, reportedly worth $165 million when she opened Yummy Pop, delicious yummy popcorn, with her former husband, Romain Duriac, a French journalist. These two worked with a professional chef and came up with some awesome flavors like truffle parmesan, Johansson's personal favorite, Canadian bacon, chocolate strawberry, and salt and pepper. What better way to watch one of her flicks than with some yummy pop? Johansson says, "It was a dream of mine and my family's for several years to bring our favorite American snacks to our favorite European cities." The popcorn shop represents a symbol of friendship between Johansson's 2 most beloved cities, Paris and New York. But she didn't stop there. In April 2021, Johansson became the creative director of Snow Days Pizza Bites and an investor in Human Co., an Austin-headquartered investment firm and holding company that backs health-focused consumer packaged goods businesses with just incubated Pizza Bite company. Voila, Snow Days. A little bit about the product. So, these pizza bites are organic, grain-free, gluten-free, and contain 7 vegetables, grass-fed cheese, apple cider vinegar, and olive oil. I don't know how this is pizza. It literally is too good to be true. But she built an empire. And maybe perhaps it was the learning blocks she learned from Bobby Chance. As we mentioned, Bobby built up stars. And of course, be sure to check out this week's episode of Everything Hollywood for a special interview with Bobby Chance. And if you're not following Fanvestor, well, you should be at FVESTOR, where we do some really cool polls, including this week's versus celebrity restaurants, right? So the fans have spoken and the poll results, well, they're in. Every week we are getting the latest from the fans because we want to include you in the conversation and opportunities. So at Fanvestor, we polled which celebrity restaurants were your favorite. And drum roll, please. Tangine Beverly Hills, owned by Ryan Gosling, as we mentioned earlier, versus Chicken and Beer by Ludacris. Well, the results are in, and the winner is Tangine. I 100% agree, full praise emojis all around. Okay, next up, we have Soul Kitchen, John Bon Jovi, that we mentioned at the top of this episode, versus Saints and Sinners, Channing Tatum. Okay. The results are in. Now, my personal opinion is Saints and Sinners is a very cool name, and there's something just so sexy about Channing Tatum, but the fans have spoken, and they would rather be a part of Soul Kitchen. There you have it. They haven't stopped believing in Bon Jovi now or ever. And then there's Wahlburgers. Mark Wahlberger versus Nobu Roberts De Niro. Okay, I took this one very personally. In all honesty, pre-COVID, my last meal was a great sushi dinner at Nobu Malibu. It was epic. Every meal has been. And although I do love a good turkey burger from Wahlburgers on Sunset Plaza, it's a great be seen spot. And the winners, well, fans spoke and they would rather go to Wahlburgers, right? Forget that rock shrimp with a view. But you'll find me there all day, all summer with a bottle of Moyet Rosé. Also, just in and shared at Fanvestor is the news that Guy Fieri is live streaming a celebrity-filled tribute to restaurants, and these restaurants need it now more than ever. While there are some great celebrity-owned restaurants, it's amazing that Guy Fieri and other celebrities are coming together to celebrate the restaurants we know and we love that are vital to our local communities. So, it says here that Guy's restaurant reboot will feature Jose Andres, Rob Karnowski, Diplo, and more, and they'll give away surprise grants to deserving businesses. Now is the time to eat and celebrate for a cause. This is super exciting. After Guy thought of the idea, he partnered with the National Restaurant Association and its nonprofit educational fund to launch the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. Within a couple of months, his relief fund had brought in almost $25 million in donations. That's huge, allowing him to give more than 43,000 restaurant employees a one-time grant of $500. I am so excited about this. Of course, this was shared by Fanvestor, so it's worth liking and following, because the latest in celebrity news like this is an awesome opportunity for you to continue to give back and invest with heart. That's what we do at Fanvestor. That's what we're all about. Coming up next, our interview with Carolyn McDonald.
We will be right back after this message from our sponsors.
Start it up.
Welcome back to the Fanvestor Report. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet, and today we have a very special guest. She's an award-winning producer, filmmaker, photographer, writer, Carolyn McDonald. Welcome to the Fanvestor Report.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.
Congratulations on the launch of your recently released NFTs. Tell us a little bit about specifically Tide in Time, and what was the inspiration?
Well, the inspiration, I actually shot these images. First of all, I've been shooting still photographs since I was 7 years old. I mean, it's like my first love as far as creativity for me. I've been shooting this ongoing project called Nouns in the Road since I had like a Brownie camera, my mother's, and going from there to Kodaks, to Casios, to Polaroids, and Pentexes, and now thank God for the iPhone and my Canon 70D. And I've been doing exhibits around the country in Nashville and Charlotte, North Carolina. So brings us to last winter. I got COVID twice last year, and one of the things that made me really bring me back to life was starting to shoot photos again. And I happened on the beach on this particular morning or afternoon actually, and found these images that had been cut into the sand by the sea, and they were just magical images. And I just started shooting. I first with my phone, and then I went and got my camera, and they were just they just spoke to me just as so unique, and we won't ever see them again. We won't see these formations again. And I was talking to another producer friend of mine one day, and she says, "Oh, these are great. You should, NFT." I was like, well, like everybody's asking me now, what's an NFT? It stands for non-fungible token. So I did some homework and, started a quick study of, you go to the YouTube videos, you go to the, whatever you can to find podcasts. And then I happened on this really, really cool group in Clubhouse called NFTS Tips. And it's just, and I started listening in, to these guys, and it's just a beautiful community of artists and, tech people, and just learn. It's a whole new language. It's a whole new world. And I really believe it's the new artist revolution. I really do. It's like the same thing that happened with music with, MySpace and then SoundCloud a few years ago. And, when I lived in Nashville, I had musician friends that pretty much did everything from start to finish, create the music, go on tour with the music, write the music, all that. And I think NFTs are the beginnings of something really huge for all kinds of creative content. But right now it's visual artists, and through NFT Tips, I just have been listening to these rooms and these just amazing artists. I mean, the show that's going on now in Miami, is an exhibition that's happening at the Bitcoin convention as we speak right now. And it's artists, I think there's about 80 or maybe over 100 of us, that are in this exhibit of screens and different clubs around Miami. If you're in Miami watching this and around the Bitcoin show, it's just really phenomenal of the level of artists that are in the show, and just the people running. And I think these guys pulled this together in about a week. I mean, they've got events every day, and just kind-hearted, hard-working, creative folks that are just, getting it done. And I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, there's something very special about you, Carolyn, in the way that other content creators, celebrities, artists, brands has looked to you in order to reach a certain audience or monetize that brand. How were you, as an artist, able to build your business off that pre-NFT? Because so many people, whether it's a celebrity or an actor, struggle with making a business out of their art.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's an ongoing struggle on many levels, but I think the playing field is being leveled by these portals like NFTs now, and it's really about marketing and reaching your audience, and as you well know, and Larry and your community knows, it's like the audience is continuously shifting as much as the content platforms are shifting, as much as the formats are shifting. And so to, look at monetization now, it's, really establishing that rapport and really developing your following, your audience, and relationships, really establishing relationships with your viewers, with your collectors, with your fans, with Fanvestor, creating these portals of relationship and communication to share your art, to share your art.
And it's part of sharing your heart, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I always say that my network is my net worth. And you've also mastered it engaging in a very underserved market. How are you utilizing that skill as it relates to something so new like NFTs?
That's a great question, girl. I am still trying to figure that one out, every day, because the NFT world, it's moving really fast. I mean, what is this? It's today, June 2nd. I mean, I think the biggest thing what was it in March when, you have people had that huge sale for $69 million of that art through Christie's. And I think that's what put it on the map and the radar, and everybody suddenly, woke up. I mean, but artists have been playing in this space and facilitating their art through this space for a while now. And as I said, I'm just learning it, and I'm really, really excited about it. But I think there's a lot to be learned, and underserved. I think that that's a lot of, there's so many ways to define like underserved, people that don't get served by a certain thing or aren't able to serve a certain thing. And I think now, again, for the artists that have been underserved in terms of been made aware of their work, it's something I was thinking about. So interesting with my photography. I was just doing research, because I've been a filmmaker, as you well know, and I've been in the film industry as an executive and a producer for many years. And so, but while simultaneously I've been shooting stills and not quite understanding as an African-American female photographer of how to get my work out there. And as I'm looking at the communities of artists and fine art, there's all kinds of stories about fine art in the world, and as there are a lot of arts businesses. But I think that, there is an underserved community of as they are in many creative spaces, of Black women, gay, trans, that people don't, or the customary don't look to, and I think now with NFTs and just the art world in general, that there's more place for artists to be served or to get their work out there, and not be hidden, and definitely won't be ignored. We definitely won't be ignored,
Let me ask you this, just as a devil's advocate. Do you think in any way that allowing people to own art in the form of NFTs is in some way taking away from the art itself or from the artist's experience?
I would say that depends upon the format of the art, because you're looking at, different disciplines of art, if you have, say digital videos, that's the best way to experience that in that space. I think that depends upon the format, honestly.
It's an interesting concept, right? To think of someone owning a piece of me or of something that I create, but in a way, it's truly an opportunity to make a great impact. What is it that you want to make an impact in? What is it that's your mission as an artist?
I think it kind of goes to that concept that quote unquote underserved, and to be able to get rid of asking for permission, and a healthy sense of confidence and entitlement. I was just remembered this story the other day that I'd forgotten about. I was raised by my great grandmother. I grew up in the South. And I remember I went to school for the first 4 years or 3 years where schools were segregated. But the fourth year in fourth grade, we went to integrated schools, black and white kids together. And so I remember coming home one day and wanting to play hardball, and I needed a glove. And not the colored girls weren't really playing hardball with the glove, but I came and I asked my great grandmother. I was telling her, I want to play hardball. I need a glove. I need a glove. And she didn't bat an eye. She helped me go to town. They took me to town to buy a glove so that I could play hardball with what was mainly white boys. She allowed me. She didn't tell me I couldn't do it. She just said, okay, you want to get a glove? Go do your chores, save your money, play baseball. And so I think now is a similar kind of thing where you arm yourself with the tools, to play on any field you want to, and not be assigned to a place because you're this or you're that or whatever. Your art speaks for itself. Your sport speaks for yourself. You got a glove, you can play ball, And
you're playing ball figuratively in big major leagues, especially in relation to film and television. Can you share with our audience about, working with Danny Glover and some of the projects that you were created and what made you so successful in that big? Because a lot of times, like hardball, Hollywood can be a tough game.
Yeah, it's so funny you should say that. I've in the NFT circles the last couple of weeks, I've been referring to myself as a Hollywood refugee. But so I ran Danny Glover's company for about 9 years. We did films for HBO. We did America's Dream starring Wesley Snipes, and we did Buffalo Soldiers and Freedom Song for TNT. And they were, big films, and I'm really, really proud of those films, and, told some really, really great stories. It's always about the storytelling, no matter what scale that you're working on. And it's a difficult business, it's a difficult business for anyone, before that, I started my career right out of, I was at NYU, and I went to work at Warner Brothers in marketing. I had a great mentor who I love to this day, Ed Blyer. And I was in marketing at Warner Brothers and ran the screenings, for the New York companies, HBO and the ad agencies. And so I've been really blessed to been working on that level for a very long time, and just being a part of again, storytelling on a large scale. And I enjoy that as much. I have a project now I'm waiting to hear from a network about, as a screenwriter. And I think my, kind of going back to that question you asked me about mission, I really want to be on every platform. I am. It's like I have projects that fit every format, I have, still photography. I'm working on a documentary called Black Irish Blues that parallels the Black and Irish experience. I have, 2 sitcoms I've written. I've got a 1-hour drama I'm working on, and, so to me, it's storytelling, it's really about storytelling and back to, the audiences, of who you want to talk to on the different platforms, because, different people are, absorbing and digesting their content and entertainment in different places, whether they're NFTs, whether you're on your laptop, your phone. There's a lot of places to absorb and digest entertainment these days.
As a Hollywood refugee, as you call it, in reference to your story, what is it that you wish you would have known or you could have done differently?
At what point? You mean like starting out in my career? What I would do differently, I think I would have. It's like I wish Me Too and Time's Up would have come along sooner. And I think that those of us who were subject to, I don't like the word victim, subject to certain infrastructures and behavior that short circuited a lot of careers, sadly. And to do differently within that context, I think I would not have taken no, so to speak, or believed someone else's press or attitude about me simply because of what I look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's very powerful. Knowing what you know now, what's next for you in the world of Bitcoin, Hollywood, NFTs?
It's like I said, storytelling. To me, it's really about storytelling and storytelling in many formats and platforms. And I'm a big art history buff, and I love the Bruegels. I love Renaissance painters. And whenever I go to a museum, I always think about, how these big canvases were kind of the blockbuster movies of their time, with the foreground, your characters, the colors, and so, now you bring that into this context and you just look at the different canvases that we have to paint on and to create. And I used GarageBand a few months ago. I wrote a song. I've been, doing these essays where I'm doing audio podcast. I mean, I just think anybody that's a creator right now, man, game on, just go create and slot it into where it fits in, because the other thing too, you just asked me about, what you wish I did different. I think now that I think about it carefully, is that don't let anybody put you in a box, because remember, you probably don't remember, but years ago, if you were a TV actor, you couldn't do features. If you're a feature actor, you couldn't do TV. And so now you do or if you're a director, you direct, you don't act. If you're an actor, you don't act, you don't direct. And so now it's like I teach, I teach a couple classes in different places and consult, and I say to my emerging students, is like, you better be ready to do everything. You better direct, you better know how to write, you better know how to do everything, and if to be called on to do the job, but to do it for yourself, So I think the bigger lesson is to not be put in a box, and because there's so many places, again, to put stuff. Like you direct something here, you write a song, you can put it up over here. So it's just such it's the time of the artist. It really is the time of the creator.
I couldn't be more excited that Hollywood's now finally embraced being a multi-hyphenate. As you said,
yes.
You can be all the things. And
you better be. You need to be. You better be all the things. You better be all the things.
Well, you certainly are. Please remind the fans where they can continue to follow, share, support you.
Oh, okay. I'm on Instagram. That's my most active platform. Is Instagram. It's at Created by Carolyn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, mainly for friends and family. That's how I keep in touch with my family back home, as Created by Carolyn as well. But, I'm not big tweeter. I'm on Twitter too, but Instagram is like my platform of choice.
And where are these NFTs available?
Yes, I have OpenSea. I'm right now. I'm on OpenSea. It is Time and Tide on OpenSea, and they're up now, available to the public. So check them out. I think they're really fun. And the cool thing about Time and Tide, what I love the most about it, is different people see different things. I mean, as I said, their images cut into the sand, and I have one up there. One of my favorites is called Road to Fontaine, and it looks like these ethereal plants from interstellar or alien flora, but and then somebody else sees something else, so they're just really cool, and for conversation, and imagination. It's like those Rorschach inks, where different people, depending upon what you bring with you see different things.
Well, thank you for spending your time and afternoon with us. Congratulations, and fans, be sure to invest with heart. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Fanvestor Report. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet. In other celebrity news, celebrity-owned ghost kitchens are making major dough. Since COVID, celebs have taken the time to create virtual dining so their fans can still enjoy their new restaurants, but from the comfort of their home. Restaurants can put their kitchen to use while backing another name, and what better brand to back than a household name. Celebrities who have taken on this include Guy Fieri with Flavortown Kitchen, Tyga with Tyga Bites, Mr. Beast with Mr. Beast Burger, Mariah Carey, Mariah's Cookies, DJ Pauly with Pauly D's Italian Subs, Mario Lopez. The list goes on and on. Market research firms recently estimated that delivery-only restaurants will be a $1 trillion business by 2030. Fans, it is time to put that Postmates account to good use and invest. Get in on this. Which celebrity do you want to partner with to open a ghost kitchen? Slide into our DMs at Fanvestor or leave us a comment below. And is it just me, or is everything NFT? And now there's food NFTs. We never thought food could be an NFT. Well, now people are talking about all the different ways restaurants can partake in this NFT trend. Chefs' recipes were forever a big secret, and now chefs can create their own NFT using that recipe. If Gordon Ramsay released a recipe exclusive to NFTs, it would definitely be the next big thing. Forget cookbooks. We're talking NFTs. For some, a recipe isn't the only way restaurants and chefs can participate in NFTs. Menus, something that some people collect readily, can be a part of a crazy new market. Making them digital and letting consumers buy will be a dramatic change in the restaurant industry. Another way to get involved is through the wineries. They could offer digital corks that accompany sales of fancy bottles of wine. Top dollar wine, top dollar NFT. Brands that have taken action in the NFT world include Pringles, who released an NFT named Crypto Crisp. Yes, seriously, limited to just 50. And Taco Bell also joined the game, releasing 5 different taco theme NFTs, releasing 5 editions of each for bidding on Sunday. In other celebrity news, Amari Stoudemire has launched a new collagen product available exclusively on Fanvestor. Amari is a 6-time NBA All-Star, Olympic bronze medalist, and most recently, the 2020 MVP in the Israeli Championships. He's also an entrepreneur with an organic farm, a clothing line, and a series of children's books for Scholastic Press. And in his spare time, which I don't know how he has any, he's a winemaker and a player development coach at the Brooklyn Nets. This man is the busiest alive. Well, how does he fuel himself? Masa. Masa is a new collagen supplement focusing on the active lifestyle, launched on Fanvestor.com. A portion of the proceeds go to the Amari Stoudemire Foundation, committing to helping at-risk youth with educational opportunities and financial literacy. Some of the perks and experiences also available at Fanvestor.com. Buy Masa, and a package comes with a limited edition Stoudemire hoodie. There's a one-on-one game of NBA 2K with Amari. You could have a virtual round of boxing with Amari at Rumble Gym, dinner with Amari in NYC prepared by a personal chef, and the best perk, a trip to Israel with Amari. He'll take you through a tour of the holy sites. And Super Dope Q, now available on Fanvestor.com, you can get #HairDope. It's created by Super Dope Q himself. It's a hair color brand that includes hair brightener, pre-shampoo, hair juice, which is a semi-permanent dye, hair sauce, a semi-permanent wax, perfect for the Vegas trip. For so many fans, hair color is an accessory. It's part of your outfit, personal style, and now it's inclusive to both wigs and natural hair. Formulas are water-based and salt, paraben, and ammonia-free, vegan, cruelty-free, all the good things. It also is hair nourishing with ingredients like olive oil, shea butter, argan oil, and keratin. Some of the perks and experiences, well, if you buy a full Hair Dope set, it comes with a limited edition Super Dope Q hoodie. You can shop Q's closet and pick out an item from the closet that you want. You can also have a personal styling session on Zoom with Super Dope Q, or have a personal styling session and a full makeover by Q in Atlanta. But wait, there's more. The best trip, the best perk, is a trip to Black Ink Studio in Atlanta. You can get matching tattoos with your best friend or your boo or your sweetheart with Q. How cool is that? Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Fanvestor Report. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We love to include you in the conversation. And don't forget to invest with heart. We'll see you next week.